So the South African National Roads Agency, that's Sanral, has signed a 7 billion rand loan agreement with the New Development Bank. The aim is to support its various toll portfolio projects in the country. Let's bring in the CEO of Sanral, that's Reginald Demana. A very good evening to you, Mr. Demana. Thank you so much for your time this evening on SABC News. Let's start first with how the 7 billion rand would be spent over the coming years.
Good evening to you and viewers at large. The 7 billion rand is for our toll projects. We fund toll projects through the revenues we raise from the toll collections, as well as monies we raise from financial institutions. So we are aiming to use this on the N1 South. So these are roads south of Bloemfontein towards Cape Town. We need to make some improvements, strengthening, separating the traffic by adding new carriageways in that area. We are also aiming to use the money for some projects on the N3 that is closer to the Marian Hill Toll Plaza, and which will then complete the extensions we are doing for the N3 between Maritzburg and Durban.
And what time frame have you given yourself to sort out the work compared to perhaps the urgency of what needs to be done? Because some of these roads, as I understand it, aren't necessarily in the greatest or safest of conditions.
Yeah, certainly. Areas where we are expanding is areas where safety is compromised, because we need more lanes and we need median barriers where we can separate traffic, just like you see here in the Gauteng network, where traffic is completely separated using different carriageways. That's what we need to do. Two of the projects, the N1 South, have started. I believe in the next month, the contractors will be on the ground. They are doing what we call mobilization. In KZN, we are finalizing procurement processes, hopefully towards the second half of the year. If not around September, maybe we'll finalize, and we will then start mobilization to get construction going early in the new year, in January 2026. But at least the N1 South projects are projects that are already aimed to start next month.
And this loan from the New Development Bank is for 7 billion rand. How much are you going to have to pay back?
Well, it's 7 billion rand. We have to pay it back over 20 years. So we have the first 5 years, which we call a capital grace period. So we don't have to pay anything. We just need to service interest. And then the following 15 years, we will be paying it down in equal installments. So it's a very good loan at very good rates. It's what you call a concessional loan. 20 years, you hardly find that. But that's what an infrastructure loan should be. It should be long in order to match the life of the asset that it is funding.
What's the actual amount, sir, that will be paid, or that will have to be paid back by the end of this 20 years or the 15 years, which is when we're going to see the bulk of the payments being made?
Well, it's 7 billion rand capital amount. The interest is what you have is a JIBA plus 140 bips. I haven't calculated, I don't have the exact amount of what interest will be at that time, but it's 7 billion rand capital with a very attractive interest of 140 bips of a 3-month JIBA.
So I asked that because when you previously tried to get a similar loan not too long ago, that was turned down because of the financial health of Sanral. So what I'm trying to gauge is where you are now in terms of your health, what the expected health of Sanral's balance sheet will be over the coming years, and how that would then compare to what ultimately you would have to pay back on this debt, because you still have other debts. Where would that leave you financially?
Okay, I see. You will recall that as part of the settlement of e-tolls, the historic e-toll debt has now been taken over by government. So National Treasury, Department of Transport, Gauteng Province signed an MOA in which they've taken over the payment of that debt. So as things stand, you could technically say Sanral is debt-free. So we are starting on a new slate with this 7 billion rand, which then gives us the ability to be able to service it. We are also going to raise another 9 billion rand to supplement what we have. That we will do in the domestic markets as opposed to this one where we had to go international. So Sanral balance sheet less the e-toll debt, the historic one which has been taken over by government. It is very strong. It is able to carry new debt.
So this 9 billion rand you say you will raise domestically, are you trying to, is that money you're trying to get through loans from South African banks? Who do you think will be able to give you that level, that amount of money, and at what interest rate? Because once again, the idea here is to keep that low.
Yeah, unfortunately in the private markets, I don't think they will be able to match the new development bank rates. These are rates we negotiated back in 2019. So it's still the same loan from 2019. It's just that we were not able to conclude it at the time because of the e-toll debacle. So now that's been removed, we were able to now conclude it. The 9 billion rand, I suspect, will be a little bit more expensive. Banks, development institutions, as well as bond investors, your asset managers have already expressed a lot of interest to participate in that raising. So we are not worried about interest as well as rates. I think it will be very competitive still.
But the state law advisor, am I right, must still give opinion on whether all of this is sound with the new development bank. Does that mean that at this stage, the 7 billion rand, that's not money in your coffers, or at least it's not a done deal just yet?
Yeah, those are standard conditions precedent when you get guarantees and these types of things from National Treasury. It is a requirement that the state law advisor must finalize. So they're busy concluding. We don't see any problem there, as well as the Reserve Bank exchange control, because there will be monies coming in and out of the country. They must regularize that with an exchange controller. President, we are not worried. We think within a month that will be done, and it will also align with the N1 projects that will be starting. So we'll be able to draw down and move on. Having said that, Sanral has also decent cash balances in the total portfolio to already continue moving with the projects whilst in parallel we are finalizing the loan instrument.
Reginald Demana, the line that we have you on is starting to fail us, but thank you so much. We're able to get at least the gist of what's gone on here with this loan. For now, thank you very much for being on the SABC. Reginald Demana. Demana is the Sanral CEO, speaking to us about a 7 billion rand loan from the new development bank.